Taxes are inevitable. Just like any good resident or citizen of the United States, we all have to pay them. But what if I told you that you can actually partner up with the government so that you can reduce your taxes and at the same time still create a win-win situation for yourself, for the government, and anyone involved in the equation? Hello everyone, welcome to Novarise, your channel for financial education. So let's get started. Hello, and let's talk about taxes again, right? So taxes are painful, nobody likes them, and whether you like it or not, you all have to accept it, right? So some may say that taxes are a hidden inflation, and here's why. So let's take a look at this example right here. Let's suppose you're an employee, right? As an employee, you will always have to worry about paying taxes before you even get to see your money. And in that equation, we're including federal taxes, FICA, which is composed of Social Security and Medicare. And for those who want to learn more about FICA, here's an article from Investopedia that will, walk you through the ins and outs of FICA. And for a quick recap, FICA is composed of two programs, Social Security and Medicare taxes. Okay, so now back to the presentation. So we have federal taxes, once again, we have FICA, and depending on where you live, you will also have to worry about paying state or local taxes. And worry, it's kind of like a quotation because you don't really worry about it because Uncle Sam actually make sure that your money is taken care of before you received it. So for simplicity purposes, for this episode in particular, we're going to focus on federal taxes and FICA taxes. So now let's take a look at this beautiful W-2. We all have seen it. We all have to get a copy of it and declare our taxes every single year, right? And then in this section in particular, we're going to focus on the wages, right? So that's box number 1. We're going to focus on Social Security and Medicare. So now let's pay attention to what's located on the right side. And that's the federal income tax, the Social Security tax, and the Medicare tax. And for this, I'm going to pull up my calculator because I want you guys to all see what happens in this equation. So let's take a look at this, right? So we have $50,000, right? That's an average salary of, this person right here, Abby L. And she's making $50,000. But then to this amount, we're going to deduct all the taxes that she has to pay. And once again, for simplicity purposes, we're going to focus on federal, Social Security, and Medicare taxes, which composes FICA. We're going to ignore state and local taxes because that varies depending on the state that you reside in. So $50,000 minus $5,098.50 minus $3,100 minus $725. So now we're talking that out of the $50,000 that Abby is making every single year, she only gets to take home $41,076.50. Okay, so what does that translate for you? What does that mean, right? That means that Uncle Sam is taking a total of $8,923.50. That's almost $9,000 out of her paycheck that's taking out of all of her hard work. Now, you might be saying, yeah, but at the end of the year, I file my taxes and, Uncle Sam's going to give me a tax refund. That's great if you get it back. Some people, especially the middle income class, they don't get that money back. But let's assume that you're part of that chunk of the population that actually gets a refund at the end of the year. The question is, why would you want to let Uncle Sam hold your money hostage and wait all the way until the end of the year just so you can get your money back? Remember, the opportunities that are facing you, they're gone like in a matter of seconds, right? It's all about taking chances on the opportunities that present themselves in front of your face. And if you have a great deal, let's say a nice house, a nice business that you want to invest in, you don't have the capital right from the get-go because Uncle Sam is holding that money hostage. Why would you want to let that happen? What's ideal is that you can get access to your money today and then try to negotiate with Uncle Sam down the road, at the end of the year, by the time you're about to file your taxes. And then you can talk about negotiating what tax bracket and what are the taxes that you're going to present, how much good you have done for the society because you decided to partner with the government, right? But if that is not the case and you're back to this employee scenario, look at the percentage that you're actually paying in taxes. 22%, okay? So you're paying 22% of your income in taxes, and you don't even get to see that money. In Abby's case, she's not seeing the full 50,000. She's generating 50,000, but she's only seeing $41,000. That's all the amount that she gets to take home. But if we were to change the scenario, let's say, you watch this episode and you wanted to do something different and you wonder, hey, how can I partner up with the government and create a win-win situation for everybody? Well, this is how you do it. So let's assume that now you decided to leave the employee status and now you're going to become a business owner or a real estate investor, right? What's important is that you're managing a business. It can be a business in real estate. It can be a business selling products, selling services, you name it, right? Now, when you become a business owner, let's just use this hypothetical sample. Let's say you own a couple of rentals, right? You invest in a rental and now you're generating housing for everybody. The government, it's grateful for that because now we have less and less people, wandering out in the street because thanks to you, they're able to place some of their good citizens in any of your rentals to reside in. So let's say, for example, you're generating $50,000 in rent, and out of the expenses that you have to pay, roughly about 10% for your property manager services. So we're going to round it up to $5,000. You also have to pay mortgage, right? Because if you've been following this channel for quite some time, you will learn that OPM is the most important thing, investing with other people's money, right? So you invested with the bank's money and now you have to pay them back $24,000, which, it translates to deductions in your taxes. And then in addition to that, you also have to pay property taxes. Why? Because every city, every town, every municipality needs to collect money in taxes because that's how they maintain the roads. That's how they are maintaining the public schools, the public libraries, you name it, right? And then towards the end, you are left with $16,000. Now, I'm going to pause here because a lot of you might be thinking, oh my God, is it really worth to be a business owner? Because look, I generate $50,000, but then all of this is going to other expenses right there, right? But hear me out for 1 second. These are not just expenses, okay? These are smart expenses. And once again, if you've been following our channel for quite some time, you will learn that the smart expenses are actually good for you because it is money that you're spending so that your business can grow. Others call this an investment, but for the purposes of this channel, just so we can keep everybody at the same level, we're going to call these smart expenses because it's money that you have to spend, but you have to change the way you look at things, right? If we call it investment, some people are like, oh yeah, easier said than done if you have the money. But if we call it expenses, now that this is money that you have to spend in order to keep your business running, right? It's a great way to look at things, right? If you think so, smash the like button right here so you can help this episode rank and help other people like you who are looking for information of this kind. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do so already so you can stay connected with us and keep watching amazing content like this every time we release a video. So now, back to the episode. We're left off at the $16,000. So we have $16,000 after paying all expenses. Now that means that you actually lower your pre-tax income money. Okay, the key is pre-tax income. In Abby's case right here, her pre-tax income wage is $50,000 pre-tax, right? That's where Uncle Sam comes in and deducts the federal taxes, the Social Security taxes, and the Medicare taxes. But in this scenario right here, once you become a business owner, we're talking about your pre-tax income, $16,000. So why is that the pre-tax income? Because you first were given the opportunity to use the full-blown amount, which is $50,000, and then you decided today what to do with it. Uncle Sam didn't hold your money hostage because you decided to spend that money today intelligently. You invested in a property manager, you repay back your mortgage, and then you invested it back into the property taxes. Now you're left with $16,000, and now you are going to proceed to pay your taxes to Uncle Sam. But because you were able to lower that tax bracket to 16%, now your tax bracket is at 12%. How did I come up with that number? Very simple. It's right in the tax code. Let me show you. So here's one of my favorite websites. So we have taxfoundation.org. And then when you look into the different tax bracket for 2021, so depending on when you're going to see this video, it could be this year. If you're tuning in this year, great. But if you're tuning in future years, let me tell you, this doesn't really change much. All you have to do is just to Google taxfoundation.org. 2023 or 2025 tax bracket, depending on the year that you're actually tuning in. And you will see this table right here, updated according to the year that you are looking for this information. But for the purpose of this video, we talked about Abby generating $50,000. So when Abby generates $50,000, she is in this bracket right here, which places her at the 22%. But when you become a business owner and you're able to lower your taxable income, lower your pre-tax dollars to $12,000, now you're placing yourself into a much lower tax bracket, which is at 12%. That's already a 10% saving in taxes. Okay. So by becoming a business owner, you have control over what you choose to spend today. You don't have to wait until tomorrow. You don't have to wait until it's tax filing season just so you can get your money back. The trick is getting a hold of your money today so that you can actually do something about it. But if you don't have a hold of your money, those taxes become a hidden inflation for you, because you know why? It's like you're being penalized. You're working really hard, you're taking money, and who knows, at this rate, your money might not be worth anything. See, if you don't take control of your taxes by becoming a real estate investor or any investor in general or any business owners, you are given into inflation, because as you might have seen over the years, the cost of living continues to go up, and you don't want to hold your money, on the side and then wait until tomorrow to spend it, because by the time you wait until tomorrow, you might not be able to afford what you want to afford, or you might not be able to afford the opportunity that once came to you in front of your face. Why? Because whatever amount of money you're putting away today and giving it to Uncle Sam to store it until the end of the year might not be worth anything down the road when it's time for you to file tax season. So now, coming back to this presentation, look at all these numbers. Once again, as an employee on the left side, Abby is paying $8,923.50, while on the right side, when you are a business owner, you're only paying $1,920 because you were able to lower your tax bracket down to 12%. Okay, this is important that you get a hold of it. It is a hidden inflation because it's like you're being penalized for being such a hard worker. You can't really see your money, and then by the time you get it back, it's not going to be worth anything. So why would you want to wait until the future to get a tax refund, assuming you even get one back? Why not take control of your money today and then do something with it and create a win-win situation for everybody? And that only can be possible when you become a business owner or a real estate investor. And once you do that, you're creating a win-win situation for everybody. You are partnering with the government to provide housing. You're partnering with the government to create jobs, because now you're hiring a property manager. Now you are paying the property taxes. You're making sure that every municipality is getting enough money to pay for the public services. And at the same time, because of what you did, now you're being rewarded with a lower tax bracket, because instead of paying taxes to Uncle Sam and let Uncle Sam try to figure out what to do with that money, you decide to take ownership of that money and invested it in a way that it created a win-win situation for everybody. Amazing, isn't it? Now, if you are not a business owner yet, do not sweat it. Don't worry. Most of us transitioned from being an employee and slowly moved into becoming a business owner or a real estate investor. If you're still an employee, it's not the end of the world. What's important here is that you already know what's going on, and now you're going to try to figure out a way. Hey, how can I transition from being an employee to becoming a business owner? Can I do both in the meantime while I work on, creating a business or creating a real estate portfolio that can help me replace my existing income? Let me know what your thoughts are. Did you have an epiphany watching this video? Did you have a plan? Did you come up with something to help you transition from an employee to a business owner? Or do you prefer to remain an employee? Hey, that's okay at the end of the day, as long as you are happy. And that's it, everybody. We've reached the end of our video, and check this video right here that you're seeing on the side of the screen so it can help you complement everything you just learned today. And until then, I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.